My folks, I hope everyone's good and gotten along real well. Hush, Trope. Hush. It's a great day. Everyone's back on the chain. We're getting a break from the cold weather. I hope y'all sufficed and did well, and everyone getting along good and stayed warm and didn't have no difficulties. Um, I had some comments about the last video, and you know, and I just seen one pop up, and I agree with that fella. I want to, I'd love for the dogs to be all rosy and nice and all that, but there's messy folks in them. You know what I mean? When someone gets messy, you got to kind of get messy back or just ride it out and deal with what they're saying. But when people are saying shit about people that you can't say something about a man you don't know. You can't say here or there. You know what I mean? And when I don't know somebody, if they have knowledge and they've got experience and all that, I ain't gonna say nothing bad. That's the first thing I learned in these dogs. Don't listen to everybody about another person. Figure it out yourself. I've been telling y'all that for years. Everyone used to talk shit about the big breeders when I was coming up. That's what they always did. Let's talk about this one or let's talk about that breeder or somebody doing that. Guys that earn their time, that earn the ability to sell dogs, puppies. I remember the first about Garner, just about Garner, for instance. Everyone used to talk shit. Oh, he's just a puppy peddler and all this stuff. And then when I finally seen a Garner dog, I remember that bitch. That was the first one I ever seen. A real Garner dog. You know what I mean? Come from him. That motherfucker was a monster. The little bitch. They called her Moon Cricket. That fucking dog was a beast. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, God, dog, if that's some bullshit, I want it. Give me all the bullshit you can tote. So I got right then, I started really paying attention. You know what I mean? And it was the same way with the Hammonds dogs. The first real Hammonds dog I seen was a good fucking dog. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, those are things that you kind of got to take in consideration. But as far as someone's experiences and all, they're all different in these dogs. And you got different type of people in the dogs. And some people are, are my kind of people, and then some ain't. You know what I mean? Hell, I mean, the boys that I grew up with, man, I could tell you all kinds of shit about the dogs, but I don't like getting in that ugly shit. I try to stay away from it, but they don't want me talking about that. Hell, they'll put a car bomb in my shit if I start telling the truth about everything. I mean, I'm for real. It's a dirty ass game. But I had a question about back then where I thought the best dogs were. What's up, old man? Hey, buddy, you good? Well, and at that time, I felt like the best dogs in my area were, always Florida has some good dogs. Then you got into South Georgia, there was a few, and then you got up in where the greatest. It wasn't where the dogs was, where everyone had their conventions at. Like up in the mountains up there, and that triangle, we call that the Devil's Triangle. There was always good dogs up in them hills, man. Coming from everywhere. It's okay. I think that bitch seen an armadillo. I don't see him, but I think she sees him. There was always really good dogs up in them hills. South Florida always had a good fair number of really high quality animals. North Florida, it was that time period that was a real competitive area. I never went nowhere else. I didn't need to. Shit, I didn't need to. Everything I needed was right there in my backyard. You know what I mean? There was no sense in traveling all over the fucking world. But as far as like the quality of the dogs, I mean, look, what people consider fast lane, they mean big money. It ain't got nothing to do with fast lane. Big shows, big money. That's what they consider. The fact of just like my boys Clay Hill. Okay, I grew up with them boys. They lived with me. They were my roommates. We evolved together in dogs. I gave Josh sold him his first bulldog puppy. It was one of them relationships. They got into that idea too. Who get the fast lane? Da da da. And you know, we kind of fell out because they were being so loud and messy, and they started being real messy to people. They were messy to a real good friend of mine, and you know, they came and took his dogs for some reason. I can't remember, and then them boys went and got them back and kept some, and just ugly shit. You know what I'm saying? And the main reason why I quit messing with them because they wanted to be loud about it. You know, they wanted to make SDJ champions. Okay, I asked Jody one time. I said, man, why y'all going all over these places and all that shit? Because we want to make champions. I said, why don't you just go with us? Because we want to win and make champions. And if we win, we still ain't going to be able to make champions because you ain't going to let them in the journal. Well, that was the way it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And but no, that's what I mean by messy and loud and all that bullshit. And then they get their ass on their shoulders, you know. They didn't even start winning until me and my buddy Marsh fucking quit going over there and culling all their dogs for them. Seriously. That's just the truth. I mean, and then they started doing good. I think their first real outing and real hit one out of the park was a whole litter of champions and grand champions. The whole litter. You know, I mean, I heard another old timer dog man say something stupid. One of them stuck on that fucking let's get to the rooftops and scream it attitude. You know, I was talking to Mike Nord. Y'all remember Mike Nord one time? I was talking to him. And now I had respect for Mike. I really like this Bose dogs. You know, I didn't talk to him much, but I realized what I was dealing with when after one conversation, so I just kind of fell back on him. But you know, he was saying something about this litter made a whole champion litter, one of the first, on the only ones, and all this stuff. I'm like, no. And I started telling him about the Shalico Miss Rage litter. I said, no, there's one down in Florida that some associates of mine, some friends of mine made. I think the whole litter turned out, and everyone was a title dog, you know. And he got all huffy with me. He said, well, it don't count like that. Like it was some backyard bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, if it ain't in the journal, it just doesn't count. I was thinking to myself right then, I was like, really? You don't think that money counted? You don't think all that other shit counted? You don't think that fucking referee counted? You don't think, I mean, it counted. It was as legit as you can get. And to what y'all consider fast lane competition. It's a good thing they went like that because they never would have made that litter if they'd have stuck around the house. They would have never made no all-champion litter. There's no way they could have pulled it off. They just couldn't have. The difference in the type of dog men. You had dog men there, yeah, they couldn't go bet no $20,000, $30,000 on a dog. They might only be able to bet $1,000 on that dog. And they had to fucking win. And I assure you, they were going to bring a real bulldog. You know what I'm saying? A real one. What's up, girl? Come on. Come on, girl. You don't like this phone worth of shit, do you? Come here. What's you doing? Come here. It's not going to get you. I don't know about that damn phone. What is that? You want to see it? But, you know, that's just the truth of the story, man. Just because people weren't in, my point is, just because motherfuckers weren't out there yelling about shit, don't mean there weren't a lot of legit, serious, hardcore dogs and hardcore dog men in the game back then. It was a lot of hardcore dog men and hardcore dogs. You know, like just for instance with Clay Hill. My statement, I mean it. You know, they wouldn't have. Every time we went in together, I'd run their ass off. I remember one time they were on that trip, that bully son shit, because my dogs had a good share of bully son in them. All that cur shit, telling people that, and it got back to me. I was like, all right, motherfucker. I had a little dog that I bred and I gave to Peck. And I told Peck, this dog's going to be better than any dog y'all got, watch. And that got back, no bullshit, that old bully son bullshit, blah, blah. I was like, well, put up or shut up, dude. I said, I'll bet you anything near your size, that motherfucker's going to be better dog. Sure as shit. Stopped one of them Shalico dogs. Then they were talking shit about a little dog I just got. Y'all probably never heard of him. His brother, I believe, is in the, on the Peds online under Grand Champion Grim, but mine was a title dog as well. Sure as shit. Stopped their little dog in like, I don't know, it was less than an hour. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't work out good for them when they went around the house. You had motherfuckers like me out there. You know, we couldn't afford to lose. Couldn't afford to do it. I don't know what you're looking at, girl, but you ain't getting it. But, you know, so don't think that the Bulldogs were a subpar type dog because they weren't in the magazines or people wanted to keep their you know, their shit to themselves. You know, it was illegal then. You know what I mean? It wasn't like as went after as it is now. I mean, you wouldn't get in trouble for it, but still it was illegal. And I was raised by a true blue outlaw, man. I was taught you don't fucking kiss and tell on nothing. You don't give them nothing to get you in trouble for it. You know, it doesn't matter who else knows, as long as you know. You're breeding the dogs, you're raising the dogs, you're handling the dogs, you're working with the dogs. And I didn't want people to know what I had at that time. I wasn't selling puppies. I never sold puppies, period. You know, very, very few. I don't think I sold 10 puppies in 20 years. You know, I didn't want people to have what I had. I was competing with those dogs. You know what I'm saying? Now the game's changed. I'm not competing with the dogs. Other folks ain't competing like they used to. I'm sure there is some people still competing, but I sell them for hog dogs, and I don't mind selling puppies. If I was doing anything illegal, y'all wouldn't even know who the fuck I was. I wouldn't tell a soul. I wouldn't, y'all, no one would even know I had dogs. I'd have them way in the fucking back. You see what I'm saying? And I wouldn't have, and I damn sure wouldn't sell no puppies to nobody. Crazy if you think I'd sell my puppies like that. You know, but that's how it was back then. We didn't sell puppies. We made our money to take care of the dogs through the dogs. You know, by competing with the dogs. The competition was at a level like that a man could compete with honorable people still and do well in the dogs enough. If he was successful with them, he could pay for his dogs. You know what I'm saying? If he wasn't, well, he better get out of the dogs or quit competing with them. You know, but don't think that this game so y'all don't even know. I mean, like I had some questions about Carolina, how the quality of the dogs in Carolina, North or South. North Carolina the quality in both Carolinas was good. You know what I'm saying? What's up, bud? But I don't know. I just had a bad taste in my mouth. There's another dirty thing. When something dirty really happens to you somewhere, you don't forget it. You know, I got in a gunfight in South Carolina. No shit. Before my little girl was born, my first baby. And that's all I was thinking about. Damn. I'm going to fucking not be able to see my kid. You know what I'm saying? Getting in a damn gunfight over, there again, around people. This was what was considered the fast lane at this spot. People that didn't understand the dogs. They took it as how do I say it? Like a status symbol or something. Get offended. You know, I wouldn't like that with the dogs. I brought my dog up there to show, to win, and then to sell him to somebody and make more money and come home. Yeah, it was 2 days before Thanksgiving. I wanted to make Christmas money. So yeah, that's what I did. I went up there. I showed my dog. It was a guy from who knows where. I think New York's what they said. You know, people didn't know nobody. 200 people there plus. Did my dog. Won in short order. Embarrassed the guy severely because he was talking shit all day. And then he wants to get mad and meet me around the corner with a pistol and try to get in a gunfight with me. That didn't work out good. Didn't work out good at all. Ended up having to take the dog back up there to sell him to the guy to get away from fucking bullshit. I mean, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, man. I mean, that's when I was like, fuck all this shit. I don't want nothing to do with it. You know, the sportsmanship's gone. The people don't understand the game. They look at these dogs like, I don't know, like it's them or something. You ain't going to win them all. That's what I used to tell people all the time. You're going to not win them all. I don't care how good you are. When you have two dogs going at combat, one's going to lose. Okay, it doesn't mean the one that lost is a bad dog. He just lost, you know. Which honestly, that dog that I'm talking about in Carolina that happened with, he shouldn't even brought that dog, man. He should have had more respect to the dog. That dog was fucking been to the water, been in the mill too many times. You know, you get them older dogs like that, man, I don't care how good they were at 2 and 3. So he just didn't understand the dogs, and then gets mad when his old war horse don't pull the sled. You know what I'm saying? And then get mad when I look at mine like, well, shit, I'll sell him. He ain't that important to me. I don't care who he beat. You know what I mean? And then the guns and the fighting and the nasty shit, that's all come part of it, man. This wasn't a kumbaya thing, man. It fucking wasn't Fantasia on ice. It was a fucking rough road, man. There ain't no doubt about it. You had to be just as nasty back. And it's kind of like that with these words, you know. People ruin your name, and these dogs tell, oh, some Johnny come lately, don't know nothing about no fast lane dogs, don't know nothing. Man, the dogs that are what y'all consider fast lane, some people wouldn't even own them that I know that was in the fast lane. You know what I mean? That's the truth. You know, the real core of the game, they had their own shit. They weren't selling it. You didn't see it. There was a lot of lines that are extinct or y'all never heard of that are super, super good dogs that just never got out. You know, some old timer might have them around the corner that, you know, we just got lucky enough to get the old cowboy shit back that I had 25, 30 years ago. One of my good friends in Florida found the old man that's still breeding this shit from back then. He's older now. He's like about 80 years old. Still got it. So we lucked up and was blessed with some, and so that was a blessing. I thought that shit was extinct, you know. And I mean, I'm not talking about the same base blood. I mean the same dogs. It's coming from the same damn dogs, you know. And that's just awesome to me. But yeah, you got to understand, you can't let someone run around and talk that, oh, he's just some Johnny come lately, he wasn't in the fast lane, he didn't know this and know that. When you don't know who somebody's had experience with or around or grew up around or anything, because like I said, my uncle would have slapped me upside my head if I would have fucking put anything else in that journal after the cops told me that they got it. When I know they got it, when they had a photocopy, like a Xerox copy of a page out of the journal before the journal was even in my mailbox. I told my uncle that shit. He said, boy, you better burn every one of them motherfuckers and never do a dog in a box again. That's pretty much what I did. I didn't right then because I was hard-headed and I had too many young match dogs that were match dogs. I couldn't just hog hunt with them. I was getting into hog hunting pretty heavy at the time, but these dogs were not hog dogs. You could not get them around no dog. They'd already been seasoned out, you know. So, of course, as a smart person, that's what I did. And that was right there during that time. All the bullshit happened, and I was like, well, you know, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe it's time for me to, you know, as the Bible says, put childish things aside. You know, that's what I did. And now for many years, I just kept my dogs to myself, and then I found out I actually have a fucking talent for putting bulldogs together. I mean, I kept steady at it, steady hunting with them, seriously hunting with them, and I started realizing, damn, man, I'm breeding better dogs now than I've ever bred. And then I got a problem, got rid of a lot of dogs, had to start over, and was all damn well ready to say, fuck it. And Buster came along and started producing fucking excellent dogs for us again. And it all changed right then. I said, well, hell, I'm right back in the game. And then I started getting other excellent producers. And y'all know the rest. And, you know, in that situation, why not share? You can't just keep them all, you know. Why not share some with folks and show them what the old style type dogs are? Because that's what I'm striving for. I'm not trying to breed a family. I'm trying to breed working dogs that look just like they come out of 1955. You know what I mean? Something like you'd see in them old Stratton books. Perform like that. You know, real bulldog type bulldogs. That's what I'm after. I don't care about preserving I'm gonna preserve the turtle buster dogs because it seems to be worth preserving to me. The ones that I have anyway. I know people got their own opinion about everything, but like I got my opinion about certain lines I don't like. You know, everyone's all hung up on these lines and that line. Some of them dogs that everyone's all in love with nowadays, I wouldn't have them. I mean, I got a little bit in here and there and all, but I wouldn't breed them like have fucking 20, 30 of them and use them for what they are to put back into the stuff to make that hybrid Viger that I want. But anyway, folks, yeah, it's not a pretty game. Even being a breeder now, just hog hunting is not a pretty game because you got all the fucking shit, the bullshit. But I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the truth too. I thought the pit game was ugly until I started showing dogs like in the ADBA shows and stuff. Man, that was a trip. That was a real trip as far as like the shit that comes back from, you know, from those. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, folks, it ain't a pretty painting, you know. This is hardcore, and you're gonna have hardcore men in it, and you're gonna have some messy people. When there's a mess, break out the broom and clean that shit up and straighten it out. You know, that's all you can do. Straighten the shit out. Anyway, folks, y'all take care. Y'all stay warm. Hope everyone's doing well. Y'all keep on bulldogging.